Okay, welcome back. This is day 2 of 3D animation. And what you're looking at here are what are thought to be three primitive forms. So in 3ds Max, which is the program that we use, you start to build your models. You would start like over on the left there. You have a box, and on the far right you have a sphere, and in the middle it's some type of complex polygon. So what these drawings are wireframe drawings, meaning that there's no opacity that you can see through these objects. So the drawing that you see here, if you're looking at the cube on the left, is that you can see through this cube, and it looks like as if it was made out of wire. So that hence the term wireframe. So here is a character made in 3ds Max. So if you're looking at this robot, you can see that the materials are, you can see this shiny metallic enameled surface. And with 3ds Max you're able to control the luminosity, the reflection, practically every aspect. Many times you can, with a really good rendering. A rendering is a computer generated image. So a really good rendering, sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a photograph or actually computer generated. This one, obviously, it's pretty obvious that it's computer generated, but you can see what the potential is. And if you were to start to break down this character, you could see that it's not too, as a whole it looks fairly complex, but if you look at it in, separate parts, if you dissect this into separate parts, it really is not too complex. So this is a grayscale version, and this is the side view of the robot. So here is the same pose, right? So this is the pose with it fully rendered, and this is probably how you would see it on the computer screen if you were modeling this object on your own. So if you're looking at this object, if you're looking at this character, you can see, all of the little edges. Each little shape inside the body are what are called polygons, and this program looks at things as if they're individual little facets. You think of the facets of a diamond. Well, these are the different small facets of a character. So looking at the feet here, you can see that it really isn't too complex. You have three basic forms that are giving you this sort of combination of exaggerated boot / lower leg. Obviously things get more complicated when looking at the fingers and the hands, but breaking it down on a smaller level, all they are small cylinders connecting to each other. So if you were to look at ordinary objects that you sort of might interact with on a daily basis, whether it's a hairdryer, a mouse, or a laundry detergent bottle, you can see that these wireframe drawings are, they're describing the contour of the shapes, right? So rather than just drawing an overall outer contour of just the edges, the outside edge, that you also have these, it's almost like a grid system that shows the contour of these inanimate objects. So your task today for the second day of class is to break down either your neighbor who's sitting next to you or yourself and turn yourself into a simplified robot. If you're to look at the features, you can see that there's sort of this interskeleton. You can see the smaller points that are closer to his hip and his shoulders, and that the different appendages and parts of the body get larger to sort of humanize them, right? So that this robot becomes a little bit closer to being a human being rather than to a robot, just as its general feel. Now you can exaggerate things as much as you want, but you're trying to create a fairly developed concept of a robotic character based off of yourself or your neighbor who's sitting in close proximity to you. I first want 3 to 5 sketches. These are small sketches that, only about 3 or 4 inches high, that are just ideas. How are you breaking down the body to have more simplistic forms, and you're basically breaking the person into smaller segments that amount to a greater whole of a robot. After you've made 3 or 5 sketches, I want you to create a larger drawing that it could be multiple views, meaning you could have a front view, a side view, a top view, but you're trying to render, as to the best of your ability, a developed character, a developed robotic character. Looking at these various characters, you can see that you can exaggerate any portion, that there's different styles. You can have like this sort of bulkier robot versus this one that sort of looks like a small child. Depending on your style and what you think would be interesting, you could definitely try and stylize it. Alright, everyone. Well, good luck to you, and I will see you on Monday, and I look forward to the drawings that you developed today.